Hey everybody, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and NPD by somebody that has both. Today I want to talk about cluster B and addiction, which is a bit of a loaded term, addiction. I don't really like it, but here we are. It's a bit of a YouTubey buzzy word, and you clicked on the thing. What do you want from me? We're not really talking about addiction. I mean, and this has come up for me in an issue, with various things over the years. And, most recently in a video I did with Dr. Ruth, we talked about it there, and I think there's going to be further ones of those. Whatever your thing, I'm not really here to talk about addiction. I mean, when we look at the individual things we can become addicted to and do and use, whatever, and I'm not the expert in giving those things up, and giving those things up isn't what we're here to talk about today. There are professionals who can help you do that. There's something else. What these are really is coping mechanisms, right? They're stuff we use when we need to. And when we need to, it's down to you, right? When you need to. But these things tend to be very unhealthy, whatever they are. Drinking, taking various things, doing use your imagination, and between us all, we're all doing it. If we're lucky, we're coming out with something that's not overly harmful. But generally, I think, and this is why I'm going with a cluster B thing rather than like a BPD or NPD thing, I think we all have coping mechanisms. We all have stuff we do to feel better when we feel bad. And it's very common for that thing to be in some way not good for us. Now, something not being good for us isn't necessarily the end of the world. But when you're feeling bad a lot and the thing that you might be doing is very harmful, then it's very easy to hit a point where it is very bad. Okay? I'm not sitting here saying drinking is bad. Alcohol is fine in when appropriately used. But when you're waking up and drinking something, there's a problem, right? Now, like I say, I'm not here to tell you how to stop drinking or how to stop smoking or whatever. There are people and things that can help you do that. We have an extra layer, this layer of coping mechanism. Whatever you're doing, it's a crutch, it's a band-aid, it's helping you with something, one way or another. And because it's a very destructive thing, we have a habit of focusing in on the thing. You've got to stop doing the thing. You feel bad because you're doing the thing. And to a certain extent, that's true, but why are you doing the thing? What are you using it to cope with? Because if you just take it away, then there's all this stuff you're trying to cope with that you're not coping with anymore. That's not any healthier than just doing the thing. And it makes it more likely that you're going to keep doing or start again with the thing. So without dealing with this over here, you can't deal with the thing. Now, this is where it gets a little complicated, I think, because you sort of have to, depending on your thing, I think you might have to try and deal with the thing fairly quickly, right? As I say, some of these things are more destructive than others. If you're a smoker, for example, yeah, it's bad for you. We're not going to die of it this week, right? Or this year, whatever. That's a future we can afford. We can afford to, I don't know, take a little longer with that sort of thing as an example. Whereas if maybe you're using something intravenously, stopping doing that or reducing that is a much more pressing issue. But still, we need to ask ourselves, why? Why are we doing this? What is the thought process that I go through when I do this thing? Because I'm doing it instead of doing something else. That's how it is for me. I'm doing this thing so that I don't have to do that thing. And I'm so good at avoiding doing that thing and not realizing why I'm doing this thing, I've forgotten what the link is. I've forgotten what it's not obvious. Something is causing me pain, stress, anxiety, whatever, and I've lost the link to it. Some of those things are very obvious in life. You put your hand in the fire, it burns, it hurts, you take the hand out of the fire. That's a thing, and it was very obvious that putting your hand in the fire was what burned you. And now I'm feeling the pain, and there's no fire. It's not obvious. It's not clear that I'm feeling this pain and anxiety because of what? Question mark? Clearly something. I'll let you in on mine. Do you want to? I'll let you in on mine. Mine's a combination of like stress and worry and anxiety about this stuff, right? These videos aren't always easy to do for a variety of reasons. Like not only like just coming up with something that you want to talk about, but being this person, having this being the on video guy, right? And it's not too much of a stretch. This is basically me, right? I'm not really playing a role on here. Those days are kind of over, the masking and that kind of thing. But still, there's an energy build-up. There's something to it. And then there's all of the anxiety that goes along with making and posting a video anyway. You know, how's it going to do? How good is it going to be? Am I going to be happy with it? Will people like it? Will people watch it? And then that leads on to how is everything doing in general? How is my channel doing? All of this. And then I snowball when I think about the tiniest thing. But if I just need to sit and have another smoke, we don't have to worry about that quite yet, do we? We can watch the clock run out. We can watch the clock run out and just chill because we're doing this thing. And I'm using it to zone out and forget all this other pile of gubbins over here. That's what I'm doing. I know I'm doing that. I'm personally procrastinating. I'm avoiding doing the things in my day that either scare me or I don't want to do. This is just me. Your mileage may vary, right? And so I find a way to zone out, to not face it, to do anything else instead of this, what I'm meant to be doing, or whatever else I'm meant to be doing. There's so many things in life I'm putting off because I'm afraid of them or don't want to do. And I can always find something else to do. And I've got a lot of new ones just recently added to me. It's not good. And so I have to, so I need to get over this fear and worry. And I could do with maybe finding a better coping mechanism. But now I say that, I'm not really a fan of coping mechanisms like that because I think that's avoiding a problem. Yeah, okay, so now I've got an unhealthy coping mechanism, and it would be better for me if I didn't have that. I could find a more healthy coping mechanism. What if instead of sitting and smoking, I did a workout? That would be much healthier, right? I might end up doing like daily workouts. There might be days I end up doing multiple workouts. And as that's really good. I'm packing it on a bit recently. I could stand to lose some weight, get fitter again. Yeah, that would be health. But I'm not doing the thing I'm meant to be doing then. Then I'm just doing Ring Fit in the living room. And it's not my purpose or job to do that. I'm avoiding still. So in this case, I'm not a fan of coping mechanisms. I'm a fan of fixing problems. I'm a fan of asking, why are you scared of these things? And how do we deal with that? What do you do to get over your fear and anxiety surrounding work things? And for me, that's a whole action plan, right? Again, this will vary on what it is that's stopping you doing the thing or pushing you towards needing a coping mechanism. But once you figure out what it is, I wish I could tell you like really easily how to do that. It kind of takes a while sometimes. It can be really unobvious. It can be really, like, maybe ask the question, because you're going to sit there and go, don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm avoiding. I don't know why I'm drinking. I don't know why I'm smoking, why I'm going out for runs 3 times a day, whatever it is you're doing. Because I think we do get a disconnect. Something gets unplugged because we want it to. We want to be disconnected from the thing we fear that makes us anxious. We develop a coping mechanism to deal with it, but we want to unplug, and we've got to now find the plug to reconnect it. And put things back together so we can go, oh, it's this. This is the thing. Now I can deal with the thing. I think it can take a lot of talking, right? This is why I think talking therapy is good. This sort of, for me, it eked out over a while. And look, I'm still coping with it. I'm still dealing with it. Therapy for me ended months and months ago now. And yet, here we are. Still trying, still wanting to push through. And still falling back into that coping mechanism once again. But it's because I'm not dealing with my problem. I'm not fixing it. I'm not getting over that. I'm trying all sorts of things, but it's always easier said than done, that, isn't it? That, I don't know. Who can help me with that? That's not a therapy issue. So I hope that's helpful, looking at this deeper problem. Surface problems are easy, and unfortunately with cluster B, the surface problem is rarely the thing we need to deal with. It's just the way these things come out of us. It's more obvious. It's visible sometimes. Sometimes you really well hear it. Sometimes it's thrown at your head. But it all comes from somewhere. And we need to dig down, get into the weeds. All of that. I don't know what that connection is. One-to-one sessions are available if you want to talk things over. Go and look at earlymorningbarking.com. Also, don't forget you can support me on Patreon, and there are YouTube memberships and some extra videos. I've been putting some ASMR videos in there. I've got another one to put up soon. And go and check out my Living with BPD course. Part 2 is out now. That's available on Patreon. And on the YouTube membership, there's links to everything on earlymorningbarking.com. Get this course. We'll start working through BPD problems, starting off with your sense of self-identity and moving on to self-care and self-compassion, that sort of thing. We're going to be moving on to favorite people, romantic obsessions, that kind of thing next in part 3. So look out for that. So you take care. I will see you later. Bye-bye.